your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Welcome to High School Football Game Night, presented by Scenic Cable Network and Production. Now, here's tonight's game.
Hello and welcome to Rip Stadium. We're at Wild Field tonight where the Dothan Tigers are hosting the Enterprise Wildcats. I'm Mick Kirkland bringing you all of the action tonight. This is the 86th time that these two teams have met. This rivalry goes way back, and the Wildcats lead the series 43-39-3. And they have won the last 13 of the last 14 meetings between the Tigers and the Wildcats. Last time the Tigers won was in 2011. Last year's game, Enterprise won it 24-14 over the Dothan Tigers. Now let's talk about some things going on. The Tigers were 6-5 last year, and they made it to the playoffs, state playoffs, and they were eliminated in the first round. The Tigers are a young team this year, returning only 2 starters on the offense. Bubba McDaniel, quarterback, and Tyson Williams, running back. A year ago, McDaniel threw for almost 1,400 yards and 15 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. He also rushed for more than 500 yards and 9 TDs on the ground. Now for the Wildcats of Enterprise, they finished 5-6. They lost in the first round of the playoffs. EHS returned 17 starters, 9 on offense and 8 on defense. The Wildcats have 2 returning quarterbacks this year with experience. J.M. Griffiths, a senior, and Cody Fulton, a junior. Griffin threw for nearly 1,050 yards last year with 7 touchdowns. So Dothan will be receiving. Back deep for the Tigers is number 20, Devanir Martin, who's returning from last year. He was a good starter, and he's a good return man. Also back deep is number 1, Tyson Williams. Williams had over 1,000 yards rushing last year and 15 touchdowns. He also caught 30 passes for over 300 yards. So Martin takes it on the 5. A nice fake. He gets it outside. He's going to be stopped short of the 20. So Dothan will be starting just inside their own 20-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 19-yard line. Dothan under the leadership of the new head coach, this year's first year as coach. Mr. Jackson, Kevin Jackson, who was an outstanding star at the University of Alabama, and he has been selected as one of the top players for the University of Alabama. So this is his first shot at being head coach. He played as a defensive coach, where he was a defensive coach last year. McDaniel rolls out, and he throws it away. A lot of pressure put on him. He had to get rid of that one. So it will bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. This is the opening game of the season for both teams. The Wildcats moved up to 7A last year, and the Dothan Tigers are 6A. That was a penalty, intentional grounding call against the Tigers.
Loss of down, 2nd and 10.
So it's a loss of down. It's a 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. We'll bring it a 2nd and 15. Ball on the 14. Not the way you want to get started. Your season started, but early in the game, you make a lot of mistakes early in the season. Mike Dane takes a snap, hands off to Williams, and there's nothing there. So It's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Tigers. Ball on the 13. So it'll be a 3rd and 16 for the Dothan Tigers. Nothing so far. Low snap. McDaniel, he breaks a tackle, and he's going to run out of bounds just shy of the 14, but we have a flag. Holding against Dothan, so 2 straight penalties have backed the Tigers up deep in their own territory. This Dothan team is very young. They only had 2 returning starters, and that's McDaniel and Williams. So the Wildcats decide to take the play instead of the penalty. Back deep for the Wildcats is Sincere Flowers. The Wildcats should have really good field position after the punt, but it's a high punt, not very long, and it takes a Dothan bounce, and he steps out of bounds. Flowers steps out at about the 47-yard line. So Enterprise will be starting in Dothan territory at the DHS 47. Quarterback in the game right now is number 8, Cody Fulton. First and 10 from the 47 of Dothan. And the ball off to number 34, who's hit by number 28 of Dothan. Number 34 for the Wildcats is Cameron Harmon. Number 26 for the Tigers is Eric James. 28, excuse me, that was 28, Baker for Dothan on the tackle. So it brings up a 2nd and 8. The pass outside, and we have a penalty. That pass was completed over to number 2, Flowers. And we'll see what the flag is. He picked up enough for a first down. Holding offense, so it will be coming back. So it will be a 2nd and 8 for the Wildcats. Reynolds in the backfield with Fulton. Fulton drops back. He's being pressured, but he finds a man. Oh, incomplete. He was going for number 7. That was Riddle. And it's incomplete. So it brings up a 3rd and 8 for the Wildcats. This drive started on the 47-yard line. It's at about the 44 down. The screen pass over the head of number 6, Reynolds, so it's incomplete. So the Wildcats will have to punt. Penalties have hurt both of these teams on their opening drives. Back deep for Dothan is number 20, Devernair Martin. .10:01 left in the opening quarter in the first. Punt. Martin calls for a fair catch and takes it at about the 19. So Dothan will be starting from the same place they started the last series.
Tigers will take over 1st and 10 at the 18.
They're going to officially say at the 18. So 1st and 10. For the Tigers. McDaniel takes the snap. He keeps it, and there's another flag. The laundry has been flying tonight. So both teams are going in the wrong direction. 5-yard penalty against the Tigers. So it'll be a 1st and 15. The ball on the 13-yard line. Low snap. And the pass is complete. That pass is complete over to number 17. But we have a penalty flag. I don't have a number 17 on my roster. I'll have to try to find out who it is. Well, I have some numbers that are wrong. I'll try to get an updated roster at the end of the first. The penalties against the
illegal touching against the Tigers.
So the Tigers are called for illegal touching. So both of these teams have been plagued with penalties early in the game. So after a big gain, Dothan moves back. They'll move back inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So it's a 2nd down and long. McDaniel keeps it, and he's going to be dropped just across the 10-yard line.
Tackle made by Trayvon Dunlap.
Dunlap on the tackle for the Wildcats.
Gain of 3 on the play, 3rd down 17.
So it brings up a 3rd and 17 for the Tigers. .904 left in the first, no score. 3rd and extremely long for the Tigers, 17. And I think Dothan drew the Wildcats offside. We'll see what the call is, whether that was a motion. It's going to be offside against the Wildcats. So that will advance the ball 5 yards for the Tigers. They will move it out to the 16-yard line. So to bring up 3rd and 12.
3rd down 12.
Snap. And the pass is complete over to number 3, Tellis, and he picks up a Dothan first down. Out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. So Dothan's first down of the game. Actually, first down for either team. Both teams have committed quite a few penalties that have kept them from advancing the ball forward. First and 10 for the Tigers. McDaniel, quick out to Tyson Williams. He goes across the 40, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 44. Well, they're going to mark it at the 45, so it's enough for another Dothan first down. So Dothan has got 2 straight first downs. McDaniel showing his mobility and his athleticism, getting the ball out to Tyson Williams, who's definitely one of the playmakers on this team. McDaniel over to Williams, and he's going to be dropped at the short game. Complete to Tellis, I'm sorry, over the number 3, Tellis.
Second down, 7.
So it brings up a 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. We're down to 7.5 minutes left in the first. No score. The Dothan Tigers hosting the Enterprise Wildcats. This is the 86th meeting between these teams. McDaniel goes deep, and he overthrows his intended receiver. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Tigers. This drive started on their own 19-yard line. They are going to the air tonight. Martin into the game. Third and 7. The ball on the 48-yard line. McDaniel's being chased from behind, and he's going to be hit from behind, and we'll see if it's I think they're going to call it an incomplete pass. Oh, holding against the Wildcats, so that should give the Tigers another first down. Enterprise is pointing at Dothan, and the official was pointing at Enterprise. The Wildcats are backing up. The officials are all discussing it. It's against the Wildcats. So we'll give the Tigers a first down, and they keep this drive alive.
First down for the Tigers. Ball spotted at 42.
Ball on the 42-yard line of the Wildcats. Hand the ball off to Tyson Williams. He skirts, he kicks back out, and he breaks a tackle. Williams is going down inside the 30, and he goes out of bounds after picking up another Dothan first down. That time it looked like Williams was going to be dropped in the backfield, but he was able to maneuver and get out of the backfield, get around the outside, and pick up some big yards for the Tigers. The ball is spotted on the 26-yard line. 1st and 10, Dothan. Dothan has done a really good job of moving the ball with some help from Enterprise. A couple of penalties have helped Dothan keep this drive going. Flag. I think it's going to be against the Tigers. Motion call and false start, so we'll bring up a 1st and 15 for the Tigers. Another flag. Wow. So Dothan's starting to hurt themselves with a couple of consecutive penalties. False start again. So they have had 2 false starts in a row to move them back 10. Instead of it being 1st and 10, it's 1st and 20. The ball moved out to the 36-yard line. Both teams have committed. Well, another unsportsmanlike against Enterprise. So that will move the ball up, and it's going to make it 1st down. Well, it'll be 1st and about 5 for the Tigers. The ball at the 21-yard line. Both teams have just really been plagued with penalties, and these have been big penalties, field position changing penalties. 6:49 left in the first. No score. They give the ball to Tyson Williams. He cuts it outside, and he takes it inside the 15, and it's enough for another Dothan 1st down. Tyson Williams, the senior running back for the Dothan Tigers. He's had about 14 or 15 colleges looking at him. So he's going to be moving on to the next level. McDaniels hands it to Williams. He gets it outside, and he's unable to turn the corner, and he loses yards. A good defensive play that time by number 14 for the Wildcats. Whoa. Well, I'm not sure what happened there. I thought the ball was dead. I'm not sure what happened, if it was a fumble or what. I looked away, and there was some action going on. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Tigers. 5:56 left in the first. No score. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network. Okay, I think what happened is he wasn't down, so that's why there was still some action going on. And so Dothan has 1st and 10 instead of it being a loss. It was a game, so it's a 2nd and 5 inside the 10. Low snap. Pass. Ooh, and a flag. Yeah, he definitely got him in the end zone. We're going to have interference in the end zone against Enterprise. pass interference against the defense. So it'll be half the distance to the goal line. The ball was on the 5, so was on the 9, so it'll be at the 4.5. So it will be first and goal for the Tigers at the 4. I tell you, penalties have really helped Dothan on this drive. They've done a lot of things on their own, but they've had some help from the Wildcats. And in a game like this, you need all the help you can get. McDaniel takes a snap, and he goes to outside, and he doesn't turn the corner, and he loses yards. He's taken down back at near the 10-yard line. So it's going to bring up a second and goal from the 9. That time, good pursuit by the Wildcats. Five minutes left in the first. And we have a timeout on the field with 5:01 left. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network. 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. In the backfield is Zach Stewart. McDaniel is the quarterback. Takes the snap. And McDaniel's got some running room, and he dives forward, and he's going to be just short of the goal line. He had an opening, and he was stopped just shy of the goal line, so it brings up 3rd and goal. The ball at the 1. So Tyson Williams and Zach Stewart are in the backfield. Tigers in the shotgun. They give it to Williams, and he plows forward. And Enterprise is indicating that he's short of the first of the goal line, so it brings up a 4th. So what do you do here? Do you go for the field goal, or do you try to push it in from the 1-yard line? We'll see. I think Dothan's going to go for it. So we'll see if Kevin Jackson goes for it on 4th and goal. If the Tigers get it, it will definitely be a big boost for their morale. But if Enterprise makes a stop here, it's really going to be a big boost for that defense. They have a very experienced defense. He takes it and takes it in. McDaniel keeps it, and he's in for the touchdown. So Dothan goes up by a score of 6-0 with 3:09 left in the opening quarter. A 1-yard run by McDaniel for the touchdown. Dothan goes for it on 4th and 1. And here's the extra point attempt. Up, and it's blocked. So extra point was blocked. So that was I tell you what, things like that can come back to haunt you in a close game. But Dothan did really good. They put together a 79-yard drive. This drive started on their own 19-yard line. And they were able to take it all the way. So Dothan take a 6-0 lead. Okay, Dothan puts together an 81-yard drive. Started on their own 19-yard line and capped off with a 1-yard quarterback keeper by the quarterback, McDaniel. And they go up. The extra point was blocked by the Wildcats. And they take it on the 18-yard line. And out to the 30 is number 30 for the Wildcats, Robinson. This will be the second possession for the Wildcats.
First and 10 at the 29.
So it's the 1st and 10 at the 29. They hand the ball off and run by number 6, Reynolds, Caleb Reynolds, and he takes it across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. So it brings up 2nd and 5, a gain of 5 on the play. Quick out. Good tackle that time. Good tackle that time by trying to get that number there. Number 6, I believe it was. I didn't get that number. I'm trying to find out who it was, but it was a great open field tackle that prevented a first down. And actually a loss of 1. It brings up a 3rd and 6. Pressure being put on the quarterback, and it's incomplete. It was thrown behind. It was intended for number 7, Warren, and it's incomplete, so it brings up a 4th down for the Wildcats. So the Tigers get the Wildcats 3 and out. So back D for the Tigers is Martin. And it's a bad snap. And the Tigers, they fumbled the snap, the punter, and Dothan was right in there on him. And that was number 4 for the Tigers, DJ Dawsey, and they turn it over on downs.
First and 10, Tigers at the 20.
So Dothan will be starting at the Enterprise 20. So far, Dothan has really been dominating this game. And like I said, they've had some help from the Wildcats on some crucial penalties on that last drive. First and 10 for the Tigers on the 20. McDaniel goes, and it was intended for number 17, Wimberley. It's incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. Second down 10.
So it brings up a 2nd and 10. .138 left in the first. Dothan leads at 6-0. Enterprise had a bad snap on the punt, and Dothan recovered the fumble. McDaniels, and it's complete over to Tellis, and not much there. So he picks up 2. It brings up a 3rd and 18 for the Tigers. Ball's on the 18-yard line. Just over 1 minute left in the first. McDaniel drops back, and it's complete, but he's hit immediately by number 14 of Enterprise, Thomas. It was completed over Tellis, and Thomas is right there. So to bring up a 4th down, the ball's at the 15, so it's 4th and 5. And we'll see if Dothan goes for the field goal attempt. I think they are. They had an excellent field position, and they just didn't take advantage of it. And the Enterprise defense is really stepping up. This will be a 32-yard attempt by number 19, Walden. Up. And it's good. So Walden knocks in a 32-yard field goal. And Dothan goes up 9-0 over the Wildcats of Enterprise, and we're in the first quarter of play. So Dothan takes advantage of the Enterprise turnover and puts up a field goal for 3 more points. And the ball goes out of bounds, and so it'll come out to the 35-yard line. That's one thing you don't want to do, is kick it out of bounds on a kickoff. So Enterprise will be starting on their own 35. .11 seconds left in the first quarter play. They hand the ball off to number 6. He's got some running room, but he's going to be dropped. That was number 6 for Enterprise, Caleb Reynolds. And he's hit just shy of the first down, but I tell you what, he had a lot of real estate in front of him. So we've come to the end of the first. Yeah, so we've come to the end of the first, and the score is the Dothan Tigers 9, the Enterprise Wildcats nothing. We'll be back with second quarter action after this timeout. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Hello and welcome back to Rip Hughes Stadium. We're at Wildfield tonight where the Dothan Tigers are hosting the Enterprise Wildcats. I am Big Kirkland bringing you all of the action. The Tigers are leading 9-0 as we begin the second. Quarterback keeps it and he picks up a first down. That's number 8, Fulton. He picks up, that'll be the Wildcats' second first down of the game. So the ball's at the 48-yard line of the Tigers. They hand the ball off to number 34, and he goes up the middle. That is Harmon. The Enterprise is starting to try to run the ball on Dothan now. So that was a gain of about 4, so it brings up well, they're going to give it 3, so it brings up a 2nd and 7. Quarterback keeps it again, and he's got some running room. He picks up another first down. Fulton is kind of taking charge here as we start the second quarter play. Enterprise has picked up 3 straight first downs. The ball inside the 35 at the 33-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 33.
Pitch out. And nothing there, and we have a flag. That was a gain of 1. And we'll see what the call is. Holding against the Wildcats, and that will back them up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So that will move them back outside the 40-yard line, back to the 42. So it'll bring up a 1st and 19 for the Cats. They hand the ball off again, and going forward, a good run that time. And that was by Reynolds. So he stopped just shy of the, we're going to mark it at the 37.
2nd down, 14.
So it brings up a 2nd and 14 for the Wildcats. They have been keeping it on the ground. We'll see if they try to pass. He's got some time. Quarterback's got some time. He finds a man open. And he's going to be drugged down by big number 90 of Dothan. Jordan Randall with the tackle. So it's a 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats. The ball at the 34-yard line. This drive started on the 35, their own 35-yard line, after Dothan kicked the ball out of bounds after the score. Good open field tackle that time by the Tigers for a loss. I believe that was number 20. So number 30 for the Tigers, Robinson on the tackle, so it brings up a 4th down. We'll see if the Wildcats go for it. I think they're going to go for it. So it's a 4th and 13. .8:25 left in the first half. The Wildcats and the Tigers. And the Wildcats want a timeout. So with 8:19 left in the first half, the score is the Dothan Tigers 9, the Enterprise Wildcats nothing. So Enterprise is going to go for it on 4th down, 4th and 13. They feel like if they don't make it, then it's about like a punt. Drops back. He's got a man open, and it's complete over to number 7, and he's going and he's going to be knocked out at the 1-yard line. Complete over to Chance Warren, and a big 4th and 13 for the Wildcats, and it gets them down inside the 1-yard line. That time that crossing pattern on Dothan, and it was complete over to Warren. So it brings up a 1st and goal. So Enterprise goes for it on 4th down and comes up with a big 4th and long play. Flowers is in the backfield. He plays quarterback some, so we're probably going to do a direct snap to him, probably. It is. They're going to Flowers, Sincere Flowers. He takes it, keeps it, and walks into the end zone from 1 yard out. So Enterprise scores with 8:03 left in the first half on a 1 yard TD run by Flowers. And that came after a big reception by Warren. Extra point up, and it's good. So with 8:03 left in the first half, the score is Dothan 9, Enterprise 7. Enterprise put together a 65-yard drive, and the big play on that drive was they had a 4th and 13, and they were able to get the first down and take it down to about the 1 yard line, and Flowers takes it in from 1 yard out for the touchdown, and the extra point was good. So it's a 9-7 lead for the Dothan Tigers. Ball goes into the end zone, so it will come out to the 20. So DHS will be starting on their own 20-yard line. Dothan pretty much dominated the first quarter play, but Enterprise came out being a lot more aggressive in the second. So we'll see if Dothan can keep it going. Dothan has, so far, they've looked pretty good. They've made some good plays. First and 10 from the 20. Quarterback's going to be sacked, a loss of 5. Took that play too long to develop, too much speed on the line for the Tigers.
Tackle led by Darius Jones. Loss of 4 on the play, 2nd down 14.
So loss of 4 on the play brings up a 2nd and 14. Ball at the 16-yard line. McDaniel drops back, and he goes deep, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Enterprise, so the first turnover of the game for the Tigers come at a very bad time. So interception by the Tigers, and so the ball will go back to the Wildcats. They just threw that one up for grabs, and the wrong one grabbed it. So the Wildcats will be starting on the Dothan 42. Starting to see a momentum swing here in this game. Dothan pretty much dominated early. And that was number 34 for the Wildcats, Cameron Harmon. He picks up about 6, so it brings up a 2nd and 4. Enterprise is going into a hurry up. Well, they have 2 receivers wide open on the left side there. Man deep, wide open. He overthrows him. Wide open was an Enterprise receiver, and Fulton could not connect. He overthrew him. So it brings up a 3rd and 4. for the Wildcats. What happened, Dothan defense was confused. Nobody was on that side of the field. They were a little confused, and Enterprise took advantage of it, but they were not able to finish it off. Quarterback keeps it, and he fumbles the ball, and he picks it back up. So it's going to bring up a 4th down, 4th and short. 4th and about 4 and I dare to say the Wildcats will go for it.
4th down 4.
Reynolds into the game for the Wildcats. Fulton drops back. He's got a man open, and it's complete over to Flowers for a Wildcat 1st down. So the Wildcats have gotten 2 1st downs on 4th. The last 1st down they got on 4th down, they were able to take it into the end zone for a touchdown, and they're just shy of the red zone now. Ball at the 22-yard line.
Officials timeout.
So we have timeout on the field by the officials with 5:52 left in the 1st half. Dothan leads at 9-7. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. The ball on the 21-yard line. This drive started on the DHS 42 after the Tigers threw an interception. Good running that time by number 6 for the Wildcats, Reynolds, and he made some moves on that run, and he gets inside the 10-yard line, so it's going to be a 1st down for the Wildcats. I tell you, it's been a flip-flop the 1st and 2nd quarter of this game. Dothan dominated the 1st, and it's been all Wildcats here in the 2nd. Dothan led 9-0 at the end of the 1st. And we have a timeout on the field with 5:28 left in the 1st half. 9-7 Dothan. The Wildcats have the ball on the 8-yard line. They give it to Flowers again, and he's going to be stopped. He tried to get away, but Dothan was able to stop him. I believe that was number 30 for the Tigers.
Tackle led by Shakimian Robertson and Elijah Lynn.
That was Robertson.
2nd and goal from the 5.
On the stop for the Tigers. 2nd and goal from the 5. We have a Dothan player down at the 15-yard line. I don't know if it's fatigue or what. Could be cramps or something. You know, it's pretty warm out there. Trying to see that number. I think it's number 21 for the Tigers, Robertson. So it's a 2nd and 5. The ball on the 5. Dothan led 9-0 at the end of the 1st. But the Wildcats have come out and put up 7. And they're in the red zone, threatening to score again. Quarterback keeper by Fulton.
Tackle led by Teron McNeely.
Oh, that's a penalty against the Tigers.
Penalty is face mask.
Face mask, so that's going to give them a 1st and go, probably. Yep. That's still second down. Second down, ball on the 2-yard line. Wasn't a personal foul. Flowers in again. He took it in from 1 yard out the last time, and he's going to keep it again this time. He goes to the outside this time and takes it in the end zone for his second touchdown of the night. So that turnover resulted into a touchdown for the Wildcats. And they go up for the first time. I'll tell you, turnovers can definitely cost you, and it's just cost the Tigers. Extra point is good, so it cost them 7. Well, a penalty flag. Well, and it's against Dothan. So the extra point is good. And the Wildcats go up over the Tigers by a score of 14-9. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network. So Enterprise scores. That was a 42-yard drive that was set up by a Dothan interception. Put Enterprise in great field position, and they were able to get a first down on the 4th down and keep that drive alive. And Flowers takes it in for a second touchdown of the night from 2 yards out. What did I say, Willie? What did I say? Did it go 10 yards? What did I say? I'm talking to my cameraman. I said, look out for the onside kick. After school, you always prepare yourself for the onside kick, and that's exactly what happened. And I'm telling you, when a team is up, they put their foot on the gas and they keep it on, and that's the way it is and the way it should be. So we have a Dothan man down, 4:28 left in the first half. Enterprise leads it 14-9, and they have the ball on the Dothan 35. So Enterprise recovers, catch Dothan off guard, and kicks an onside kick. And they have the ball at the 35, at the Dothan 35. Dothan's got to do something here, or they're going to let this game get away from them. Quarterback, it's intercepted. Intercepted. He's got some real estate ahead of him. And he could take it. He's still on his feet. Wow, what a turnaround. What a turnaround. I'm trying to get the number of that player. Who was that? That was number 4 for the Tigers with the, well, was that number 4, Will? I couldn't see the number. I'm trying to see who that was. But an interception. That was number 24 with the interception. Thomas. Boy, that was big. That was huge. Thomas comes up with the big interception and returns it back deep into Tiger territory. So Dothan has the ball on their own 27-yard line. Man, that was a big play. Williams spins, and he's hit, and he's thrown for a loss of about 3. But that was definitely a 7-point turnaround because the way Enterprise had been moving the ball, it was almost assured that they were probably going to score again before the half after the onside kick, which was recovered by the Wildcats. But a big interception by the Tigers, Thomas, and a great returned it to the Dothan 27-yard line. McDaniel gives it to Williams. He goes up the middle, and he's going to be taken down after probably a gain of about 1. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Tackle led by number 96, Jones.
It was a gain of 1, so it brings up a 3rd and 12 for the Tigers. They've got to take advantage of the Enterprise turnovers, just as Enterprise took advantage of the Dothan turnover. They capitalized on it and was able to convert it to a touchdown. Dothan converted an earlier Enterprise turnover. They were able to kick a field goal from 32 yards out. Screen pass. And not much there, a gain of about 1 yard. And we'll see if they go for it on 4th down, or if they try to run some time off the clock. And I think they'll just go for it. The ball is on the 27-yard line, so it's 4th and 11. Dothan's a very young team, whereas this Enterprise is a very experienced team. Dothan only had 2 returning starters on the offense. Enterprise had 17 starters returning. They have 9 on offense and 8 on defense. 1:53 left in the first half. The score is Enterprise Wildcats 14, the Dothan Tigers 9. So it's a 4th and 11 for the Tigers. The ball on the 28-yard line. Tyson Williams in the backfield with McDaniel. He's in motion. He steps up in the pocket. Oh, incomplete. He was going for Williams. So it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Pass is incomplete. Enterprise will take over on downs.
So the Wildcats take it over on downs. Dothan not able to take advantage of the Enterprise turnover. They had a couple of plays that didn't go anywhere. Well, they lost yards on, which got them behind the chain, and they were never able to overcome it. So Enterprise takes over the ball on the Dothan 28. Flowers fumbles. And Dothan gets the ball. So Enterprise makes another mistake, so Dothan gets the ball back. Fumble. With 1:36 left, and they're on their own 24, on the Enterprise 24-yard line. So we'll see if Dothan can take advantage of the 3rd Wildcat turnover. So far, they've only put up 3 points off of 3 turnovers. The Wildcats have put up 7 points off 1 Dothan turnover. Low snap and a flag. I think a lot of it. Motion penalty against the Tigers, so that would back them up 5 yards. So instead of it being 1st and 10 from the 24, it's now 1st and 15 from the 29. McDaniel drops back. Across the middle. Through the hands of Wimberly. So to bring up a 2nd and 15, 1:28 left in the first half. The Tigers trailing the Wildcats 14-9 after taking a 9-0 lead, and the Wildcats had come out and put up 14 straight points. A good crowd tonight on both sides. This rivalry has been going on for 86 years. That's unbelievable. McDaniel, he's got some running room, and he's going to be dropped inside the 25. So he gets back to about the original line of scrimmage, which is the 29. So it should be a 3rd and 10 for the Tigers. 1:14 left in the first half, and a timeout on the field. Okay, we're getting ready to resume action after the timeout. So it's 3rd and 10, the ball at the 24, the original line of scrimmage that Dothan returned the ball to. Thomas did after the interception. I tell you, the defense of Enterprise has really tightened up. Complete pass goes to number 11 for the Tigers, and that is Buddy Hope. And it should be close to a Dothan first down. If not, yeah, it is a Dothan first down.
First down, Tigers.
So it's 1st and 10. Ball at the 14, and we have under a minute left, so they've got to hurry up. Good block. McDaniel keeps it. And he's going to be taken down inside the 5-yard line. He just needed another foot to get into the end zone. They're going to call him down on about the 1-foot line. So it's a 1st and goal for the Tigers. That time, McDaniels didn't have anybody open, and he saw a wide open space, and he went for it, and there's a flag on the play, and we'll see what it is. Well, it's against the Tigers, so that play was
Call is against Dothan for illegal formation.
illegal formation, so no go on that. So we'll move the Tigers back out to about the 19-yard line. So it'll be first and 15. They can get a first down without a touchdown. Boy, that was a big mistake there. But when you have a lot of youth, you make a lot of mistakes. It's down to 34 seconds, so the Tigers are going to have to get something done. They're out of timeouts. So they've got to move quick. They need to just spike the ball. 17 seconds. Spike it. They spiked it. And they should have. They have about just under 7 seconds left. They used all the timeouts up early, and I tell you what, look like it's coming back to hunt them here in the closing minute of the first half. So they're going to go for a field goal attempt. This will be a 42-yarder. It's up. And it's good. Good. A 42-yard field goal by number 19, Walden. He had kicked one from 32 earlier, and he knocks in one from 42 yards out as with 1.8 seconds left in the first half. Wow. So Dothan was able to capitalize on the Enterprise turnover. They were able to get 3 points. And they've gotten 6 points off turnovers. Enterprise has scored 7 points off Dothan turnovers. So I tell you what, I've been impressed with Walden. He's a 10th grader. And he's kicked 2 field goals of 42 and a 32. So 1.8 seconds left. So it's a 14-12 Enterprise lead. So Dothan's got to make sure they have good coverage on this kickoff return. They may try to squib it. That's a really good weapon to have, someone who can kick field goals at that distance. But they had an extra point blocked. And Enterprise takes a knee, so we've come to the end of the first half in the score. The Enterprise Wildcats 14, the Dothan Tigers 12. We'll be back with second half action after this time out. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, Superintendent Dr. Camille Wright, Principal Matt Rogers, and Enterprise High School proudly present the Big Blue Marching Band. Tonight, the band will be performing Satellite, Enterprising Young Men, Falling Slowly, In the Air Tonight, and finishing with the Enterprise High School fight song. The band is under the field direction of drum major Jenna Goulart. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Enterprise High School Big Blue Marching Band.
1979, he continued to help the football team. In total, he has spent the past 41 years assisting not only the Tiger football team, but all sports teams here at Dothan High. Because of your hard work and dedication to the success of our young athletes, we are honored to name the field house after you. From this day forward, it will be known as the Early Walker Field House.
Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
The entertainment industry and the world lost four legendary musicians. Glenn Frey, lead singer and frontman for the Eagles. Maurice White, founding member of Earth, Wind & Fire. David Bowie, and Prince. Although these artists are no longer with us, their memory lives on through their incredible musical legacy. Earlier this year, the entertainment industry and the world lost four legendary musicians. Tonight, performing their 2016 halftime tribute, Remember the Music, please welcome the Dothan High School Marching Band, the greatest band in Tigerland. Tonight, performing their 2016 halftime tribute, Remember the Music. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest band in Tigerland.
Hello and welcome back to Riphew Stadium on a bright full moon night in Dothan, Alabama, where the Dothan Tigers are hosting the Enterprise Wildcats. I am Mick Kirkland bringing you the action, and we're at halftime and the scores of Wildcats 14, the Tigers 12. Just kind of recapping the first half. Dothan scored in the first quarter with 3:09 left. They put together an 81-yard drive, capped off with a 1-yard TD run by quarterback McDaniel. But they missed the extra point, was blocked actually to take a 6-0 lead for Dothan. Dothan scored next on a 32-yard field goal by Walden with 11 seconds left in the first to make the score 9-0 Dothan. Second quarter, Enterprise came out and scored with 8:03 left in the second quarter on a 1-yard run by Flowers to make it 9-7. Flowers scored again with 4:28 left in the first half on a 2-yard run to make it 14-9. Dothan scored after they intercepted Enterprise pass. They were able to a fumble. It's actually a fumble. Dothan Walden kicked his second field goal of the night, a 42-yarder with 1.1 second left in the half. So the score is Enterprise 14, Dothan 12. And one of the key things in the game, 3 turnovers. Enterprise has committed 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions and a fumble. 2 fumbles and an interception. And Dothan scored 6 points off the Enterprise turnovers. Dothan had an interception, and Enterprise has put up 7 points off turnovers. So Enterprise will be getting the ball back with the lead here as we start the second half. And they will get good starting position at the 34-yard line.
First and 10 Enterprise at the 34.
So this game has been an exciting game. Both teams have played very hard. And this rivalry has been going on for 86 years. And you know they have really gone at it for many years. Their grandfathers and great-grandfathers played in this game. And it's going to be close to a first down as Flowers.
Reynolds, the ball carrier, tackled made by Shakimi and Robertson.
Excuse me, that was Reynolds on the carry. And I think it's going to be just shy of the first down. So we'll bring up a 2nd and 1, the ball at the 44. Just shy of the 44. Quarterback keeps it. And he goes up to about the 45-yard line of Dothan. Dakota Fulton has had a good game tonight. He has the ability to run. And that, and Dothan is called for a penalty. It looks like a face mask. So that ball will advance inside the 30 of Dothan down to about the 29-yard line. So Enterprise is in great field position on the opening drive here in the second half. This drive started on their own 34. Quick out. And it's complete over to Warren. And it should be close to another Wildcat first down.
Pass is complete to Chance Warren, tackle led by Robertson.
So it is a first down. 1st and 10.
Play is good for a first down.
The Wildcats in the red zone. The ball at the 19-yard line of the Tigers. This is the opening drive of the second half. Fulton keeps it. He goes to the outside, and he's going to be hit at the gain of about 4.
Tackle made by Vakel Baker.
So it's going to be 2nd and 6. The ball just shy of the 15-yard line. Reynolds in the backfield with he pitch it out to Reynolds, and he breaks the tackle, and it should be enough for another Wildcat first down. Oh, it was complete to Flowers, excuse me. Was it Flowers? Yes, it was number 2, Flowers. So to bring up a first and goal at the 7-yard line. This drive started on the Enterprise 34. A big penalty against Dothan helped them advance the ball, but some good plays by the Wildcats. That time Fulton keeps it, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. So they're going to give him 1, so it'll be 2nd and 6, the 2nd and goal from the 6. 9.5 minutes left in the 3rd. Wildcats leading by 2, 14-12 over the Tigers. Fulton keeps it, and he's hit again after a short game. So the ball is inside the 5 at about the 3. So it's a 3rd.
Down from the 1.
And they're going to spot it at the, well, it looks like the 3. Flowers takes the snap. Penalty against the Wildcats, so that would bike them up 5 yards. Into the game for the Tigers, number 99. Cameron Williams. Flowers is taking the direct snap. And it's almost intercepted by the Tigers. That was a pass from Flowers. So it brings up a 4th down. The field goal team comes on the field. This will be a 25-yard attempt. Osteen is the kicker. He's going to be kicking it from the 14, so it'll be a 24-yard attempt. It's up, and it's good. So the Wildcats add another 3, so they go up by a score of 17-12 with 8:19 left in the 3rd. Enterprise gets ready to kick off. We'll see if Dothan's ready for they did an onside kick, and they were successful at it earlier, so we'll see if they try it again. No, they kick it deep, and it goes into the end zone. So Dothan will get the ball on their own 20-yard line. They're trailing by 5 points, 17-12. 8:19 left here in the 3rd. So far, it's been a close game. Dothan led 19-0. Then Enterprise scored 14 points in a row to take a 14-9 lead. The Tigers came back and scored right at with 1.1 second left in the fourth on a 42-yard field goal by Walden. And Enterprise has scored on a 24-yard field goal by Holstein. A flag, and I think it's against the Tigers. They have started in the hole quite a few times on those penalties. Motion. So 1st and 15, the ball on the 15. Look like we have another flag. So it looks like they're going to march off 5 more against the Tigers. I guess that youth and inexperience is showing. So instead of it being 1st and 10, it's 1st and 20. Last time they was in a position like that, they threw an interception. So they need to be a little more conservative this time and not try to go for it all at one time. McDaniel rolls out and he moves forward outside the 10 to about the 11-yard line.
McDaniel keeps the ball.
So he picks up maybe 2. He picks up 2, so to bring up a 2nd and 18. This is the 86th meeting of these teams. Enterprise leads the series 43-39, and they tied 3 times. A lot of history in this rivalry. And Dothan moves again, so they'll move back 5 more yards. So they have been penalized 15 yards on this drive. They haven't been able to do anything. Maybe they need to call a timeout and settle down a little bit. Right now, everybody's jumpy. So now it's a 2nd and 23. They started at the 20, and now they're on the 7. So I imagine Enterprise is going to try to rush him pretty hard. McDaniel keeps it and goes up the middle and gets across the 10. Give him a little breathing room. So the ball is at the 9. So it'll be 3rd and 23. Buddy Hope enters the game for the Tigers. Look like it's going to be another penalty against the Tigers. They are that's 20 yards worth of penalties on this possession, and they are going the wrong way. Enterprise will probably send the house this time. Try to force Dothan into a mistake or a safety or something. McDaniel gets out, and it's complete. It was complete to Stephen Tellis. It gave him a little breathing room out to the 20. So to bring up a 4th down. Well, they have. But they're saying 4th down. Are they not aware there's They tried to draw Enterprise offside. Do they not know that it's 4th down? Where's the punter? Why are they going for this on 4th down? Oh, there's the punt. Nobody was biting, so it's a good punt. It rolls inside the 35 to the 33. So Dothan gets themselves out of a jam. So Enterprise will be taking over after the punt at their own 34-yard line. We have an official's timeout on the field with 5:21 left in the third. The score is the Wildcats 17, the Tigers 12. Enterprise scores a field goal on their first drive of the first half, and Dothan goes backward and had negative yards on that drive and punted the ball, and Enterprise takes it on the 34-yard line. Pitch out. Good run. That was number 34 for the Wildcats, Cameron Harmon, and it's enough for a Wildcat first down. They move it out near midfield. Ball on the Wildcat 48-yard line. Quick out. And it's going to be close to another Wildcat first down. Warren on the reception. They're going to say it's just a little short, so it's going to bring up a 2nd and short. They're going to time out for measurement.
Timeout for measurement.
4:41 left in the third. The Wildcats on their second possession of the second half. They kicked a 24-yard field goal their first possession. It's going to be short by about the length of a football. So it brings up a 2nd and 1. Ball at the Dothan 42-yard line. Dothan wasn't ready, and they hand the ball off to number 6, and he's still on his feet. That time, Dothan was slow getting back on the field. The whistle blew, and so Enterprise took advantage of it, and Reynolds racks up a bunch of yards. I don't know what they were thinking about, but once the whistle blows, the ball is live. Smart thinking on Fulton's part. They snapped the ball and caught Dothan off guard and moved the ball down to the 15-yard line for a first down. And another run that time by Reynolds. He takes it inside the 5.
Reynolds ball carrier, tackle led by DJ Marshall.
So it's a first and goal from the 5. Tigers have come out sluggish in the second half. Touchdown. Caleb Reynolds takes it in from 5 yards out for the touchdown. So Enterprise has come out and scored on both of their possessions here in the second half. So it's a 23-12 game. Extra point coming up. Make it 24-12. So with 3:45 left in the third, Enterprise goes up by 12, 24-12. So Enterprise puts together a 66-yard drive. Capped off with a 5-yard TD run by Reynolds, and they go up by 12, 24-12. They have scored both possessions of the half here in the third. So they put up 10 points here in the third. And Dothan is scoreless. So the ball will be at the 20. Dothan will be starting at the 20 where they started last time, but they had 4 penalties that backed them up for 20 yards. But they were able to get off a good punt, but by getting slow, Enterprise caught Dothan off guard, getting on the field after the timeout, and the whistle had blown, and Enterprise took advantage of it and scored. Five-yard gain that time by McDaniels. He gets it out to the 25. If he could have got a better block, he could have broke that one for a long gain. But 1st and 5, ball at the 25. They give it to Williams. He spins around, and he's going to be dropped at the gain of about 2. He couldn't get going, so it brings up a 3rd and 3. This is a big third down for the Tigers. They need to get a first down to keep the defense off the field, give them a chance to rest. McDaniel. And that time they drew him offside. The hard count got him. So that should give Dothan a first down. They tried it a couple of times, it didn't work, but the third time was the charm. So Dothan gets a first down, moves the ball out to about the 33-yard line. 2.5 minutes left in the third. They are trailing the Wildcats 24-12. Dothan led 9-0 in the first. Enterprise put up 14 points in the second. Dothan put up another 3. Tyson Williams, he dodges a couple of defenders. He's to the outside if he can, and he breaks the tackle. And we got a flag back at about the 48-yard line. Williams with a big run, so we'll see if there's a block in the back, a holding. But a big run that time by Tyson Williams. And I think that flag is going to be against the Tigers. They're backing up. Big mistakes, penalties have just hurt the Tigers. And that was a personal foul. So that's 15 yards. So instead of it being the ball down on the Enterprise side of the field, it's back on the Dothan side of the field. The ball's at the 36-yard line. Mistakes have really hurt the Tigers tonight. And a personal foul, a foul like that is so useless. I mean, it really hurt the team. So it's a 1st and 6 for the Tigers. Pass is complete to Tyson Williams, and he's going to be close to a 1st down, depending on the spot. That was a quick out to Williams, and looked like it's going to be a Dothan 1st down. First down, Dothan. Well, timeout. Just a timeout. They're still looking to see if the spot gives Dothan a 1st down or if they'll bring out the chains. They're going to bring out the chains. .139 left in the 3rd. A good crowd on hand tonight. Enterprise brought a big crowd, and Dothan has a big crowd here tonight. It's good to see all these fans come out and support their respective teams. It's going to be short, looks like. Probably about a foot short. So it'll bring up a 2nd down. Second and 1 for the Tigers. The ball at the just shy of the 43-yard line. Most of these teams play from the shotgun these days. McDaniel dives forward. He's going to be short. He may have even lost a half a yard or so. Yeah, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. That time the Tigers never got any push on that line of scrimmage. And there's a man moved, so that was going back 5 yards. So instead of it being 3rd and 2, it's going to be 3rd and 7. They've gone from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 7. I tell you what, these penalties are killing the Tigers. They really are. So they're going to have to change what they were going to do in that short yardage. Mike Daniels is completed out to number 10, and wow, it's going to be close. Jeremy Powers. And they're going to say it's a 4th down. Do you go for it? Boy, it's about a yard short. Dothan's going to go for it. I guess they said. No, they said it's a 1st down. Hold on. Hold on. They sent us a first down. Yeah, they're going to give it to them. So it's a first down, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They give it to Williams, and nothing there. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. That time the Wildcats did a good job of closing that hole. So that's going to be the last play of the third. So we've come to the end of 3, and the score is the Enterprise Wildcats 24, the Dothan Tigers 12. We'll be back with the 4th period of action after this timeout. You're watching the Scenic Sports. Okay, Will.
Your #1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
The Wildcats leading the Tigers 24-12. Hank McKirkland bringing you the action from Rip Hughes Stadium, Wild Field. The Wildcats have scored on both of their possessions the second half, and Dothan has been unsuccessful. A pass over to Tyson Williams. He fakes. He gets to the outside. He's still on his feet. He jumps over the defender and gets a couple extra yards out to about the 47. So it brings up a 3rd and 5. Great hustle that time by Tyson Williams, picking up a couple of extra yards from some extra effort. Ball's at the 47-yard line of the Tigers. Goes deep. Got a man open, and he overthrew him. That pass was intended for Powers. So it brings up a 4th down. So we'll see if Dothan goes for it on 4th down. They have a 4th and 5, and I think at this point in the game, you're trailing by 12 points. You go for it. And one thing they did the last time, they tried to draw them off side on the punt. And it's going to be a flag against Dothan, so instead of 4th and 5, it's going to be 4th and 10. I guess they just decided they're going to punt it. Ball moved back to the 42-yard line. I tell you what, penalties have really hurt the Tigers tonight. Seems like anytime they get any momentum going, they commit a penalty and it backs them up. A high punt, and it takes a really good Dothan bounce, and it's marked down at about the 13-yard line. So the Wildcats will be taking over at their own 13. Okay, so the Wildcats will be taking over. They scored on both of their drives here in the second half. The handoff again to Reynolds. He's having a big night. He picks up about 9, so brings up a 2nd and 1. Wildcats led 14-12 at halftime. They've added another 10 points in the second half, and Dothan is scoreless. 1st and 10 Wildcats. Good run that time. That was number 9 for the Wildcats. Maurice Hicks. He's a 10th grader. I think the Tiger defense has gotten tired. They give it to him again, and he falls forward to about the 40 of the Tigers. A gain of about 5, brings up 2nd and 5. Ball at the 41. Enterprise going in a hurry up offense. They give it to him again. He breaks a tackle and picks up a 1st down. So Maurice Hicks has come in, and he's chucking up some yards. So the ball's at the 35-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 35 of Dothan. Tigers are scoreless in the second half. The Wildcats have put 10 points on the board, and they're threatening to put more points up. Reynolds takes it inside the 30. A gain of 6. It'll bring up a 2nd and 4. And he goes again. Boy, he was hit, but he moves forward, and it should be enough for the 1st down. Reynolds again. It is, so it's a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. The ball at the Dothan 24-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 24.
Pass, and it's complete to Flowers across the middle, and he's inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line. The Wildcats are just moving the ball down the field. Is it a touchdown? Yeah, it's a touchdown from number 9, Hicks, from about 7 yards out. So all 3 possessions, 3 scores by the Wildcats. Hicks on a 7-yard run. Extra point is good. So the Wildcats go up by a score of 30-12 over the Tigers of Dothan. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network. We're back after the Enterprise touchdown. And there was also an injury timeout. One of the Dothan players was injured and carried off the field on a stretcher in an emergency vehicle. So we hope and pray that he's okay. Enterprise leads it 31-12. Dothan scoreless in the second half. Ball goes into the end zone, so the Tigers will be getting the ball at the 20. The Wildcats have just pretty much dominated the third. 3 possessions, 3 scores. Just kind of wore the Tiger defense down, and it's shown the offense hadn't been able to get much going here in the second half. They've made a lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties that have cost them yardage and field position. McDaniels got some running room. He keeps it. He picks up a first down, and he's going to be taken down at about the 37-yard line. So 1st and 10 Tigers. We'll see if the Tigers can get something going here. That was their biggest gain in a while for the Tigers, probably the biggest gain in the second half. That was a gain of 22. Pass incomplete. Intended for Powers. So brings up a 2nd and 10. 8:33 left in the fourth. The Wildcats have won 13 of the last 14 meetings of these two teams. Last time the Tigers won was in 2011. Fumble. And it looks like the Tigers recovered. So now they are 3rd and long. Third and about 15. The mistakes have really hurt the Tigers tonight, and that was another one. And that's something they can't afford to do. 3rd and 15. Pass dropped by Fulmer. It's incomplete. So it brings up a 4th down. Back deep for the Wildcats is Darius Curse. Dothan calls a timeout. 7:38 left in the fourth. They're trailing the Wildcats of Enterprise 31-12. 4th and 15 for the Tigers. The ball on their own 32-yard line. Punt is blocked. And the Wildcats get it on the 38-yard line. So they're in scoring position again. The Enterprise Wildcats have a very experienced defense. A lot of these guys have been playing together for 3 years. Dothan's they're real young, and that's what Coach Jackson said that the Tigers are young this year. Maurice Hicks picks up about 7. For to bring up a 2nd and 3. Hicks has come off the bench and done a really good job. He's a 10th grader. They give the ball that time to Robinson, and he's tripped up. But after he gets the first down. The Wildcats are in a hurry-up offense. Good hit that time. The Tigers was waiting on that one. And on that hit was, let's see if I can get the number of that truck there. And get his number. Ezekiel Moore. Nothing there, not much that time. Run by Hicks. Martin on the stop. So it's a 3rd and 9. And it's going to be a 4th down. And that quarterback is now John Griffin. So it's a 4th and 5. Timeout on the field with 5:32 left in the 4th. The Wildcats lead it 31-12 over the Tigers. And the Wildcats are going to go for it. Griffin is the quarterback, Hicks in the backfield. Flowers. He goes deep. And it's going to be short of the first down. So Enterprise is going to turn it over. Well, they said first down. It looks like it was going to be short, but the spot gives the Wildcats a first down. 1st and goal from the 10. Robinson in the backfield. They hand it off to Robinson, and he's hit at the line. Marchman on the stop. Number 56. They go again. And that was Hicks on the carry. Martin on the tackle. The ball on the 7-yard line. It's a 3rd and goal from the 7. And it looks like it's going to be a touchdown. That was Robinson taking it in from 7 yards out. So the Wildcats have scored on every possession here in the second half. And the Tigers are scoreless in the second half. They have not scored since about 1 second left in the first half. It was a 42-yard field goal by Walden. Extra point up and good. So it's the Wildcats of Enterprise 38, the Tigers of Dothan 12. So the block punt by the Wildcats leads to another score. A 7-yard run by Robinson to make the score 38-12. Score was 14-12 at halftime, and the Tigers have been scoreless here in the second half. It's touchback, so the Tigers will get the ball at the 20-yard line. It's been a long night for the Tigers. They started off really good. They took a 9-0 lead in the first, and the Wildcats came out and had a strong second quarter, putting up 14 points. Then the Tigers came back and kicked a 42-yard field goal with 1.1 second left in the first half to make it 14-12, but they have been scoreless since, and the Wildcats have scored every possession since. Nothing there. A loss of 2. So to bring up a second and 12. 3.5 minutes left in the fourth. So the Tigers are going to try to take as much time as they can to not give the ball back to the Wildcats and give them another scoring opportunity. That one blew up in the backfield. So they are going the wrong way, the Tigers are, but that stingy Wildcat defense. So that was a loss on the play. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 15. The ball on the 15. This drive started on the 20. After the touchback. Enterprise has committed 3 turnovers, and Dothan has actually committed 1, and then they had a block punt. Handoff to Powers, and nothing there. So it brings up a 4th down. So they'll have the punt with 1 under minute 30 left. Flowers is back at about the 45 for the Wildcats. And it gets past them and it rolls down to about the 43-yard line of the Wildcats. And they'll take over with 1:03 left in the fourth.
Next week, Enterprise will be back here at Richview Stadium against Northview. The Dothan Tigers will be on the road at Smith Station.
Wildcats take over on their own 37-yard line. Griffin in at quarterback. Not Griffin, it's number 12 in now. And that would be Joseph Thornton. He's a 10th grader. This is the 3rd quarterback they played tonight, not including a couple quarterback plays by Flowers. It was a penalty against the Wildcats. So that would back them up to about the 27. It was holding against the Wildcats. It would bring up a 2nd and 20, with 1st and 20. .45 seconds left. Pitch out. And that was over to Hicks. Hicks had a touchdown earlier tonight. He's come off the bench and done a fine job for the Wildcats. 20 seconds left in the 4th, and the Wildcats leading 38-12. And they have just completely dominated the Tigers here in the 4th. Well, in the entire second half. And held the Tigers scoreless. Another flag. Robinson with the ball. And, well, there's a flag. And so the game's penalties declined. So that ends the game where the Enterprise Wildcats beat the Dothan Tigers by a score of 38-12, and they have won 14 of the last 15 games against the Tigers. Final score 38-12, Enterprise over Dothan. On behalf of our cameraman tonight, Willie Elder, this is Mick Kirkland saying good night and thanks for watching the Scenic Sports Network.
You've been watching High School Football Game Night, presented by Scenic Cable Network and Productions. Join us again next time.
Your #1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.